Simple Life presents Things Happy People Don't Do. Don't get stuck in one of these negativity traps. Happiness is something we all strive to attain, yet it can be a struggle to get there. Circumstances can have a significant impact on our moods. But research shows that much of our happiness depends on small choices we make on a day-to-day basis. What about the potentially disastrous, joy-killing choices that some of us fall into without even realizing it? We thought it would be just as important to learn the top behaviors that the happiest people don't do. 1. Happy people don't worry too much about what others think. Happy people are still human, and everyone cares a little about what others think. But the difference is that happy people don't ruminate or obsess about others' opinions of them. They value other people's perspectives and are open to advice and guidance. But happy people ultimately stay true to their core beliefs. They don't waver from them, even if that means not fitting in with everyone else. 2. Happy people don't waste time doing things they dislike. While there will always be things we don't like doing, like laundry, taxes, etc., happy people don't waste time on activities they don't have to do and don't enjoy. Happy people don't spend time watching TV shows they don't love. They don't attend events that make them feel anxious. They don't stay in careers that don't fill them with joy. One of the greatest secrets of happy people is that they know what they don't enjoy, and they don't waste time on it out of a sense of fear or obligation. 3. Happy people don't try to manipulate or change other people. Happy people know that change is an inside job, and the only way people change is if they want to. This knowledge is essential to happy living because it means not wasting time trying to manipulate others. Most happy people aren't shy about sharing their opinions or thoughts, but they are aware that they cannot force transformation in others, and trying to do so will only be a waste of time. Instead, they focus on what they can do to take themselves out of a negative situation. 4. Happy people don't allow themselves to stay stuck in the past. Focusing too much on the past is one of the quickest ways to become unhappy, and this is something that happy people inherently know to be true. While happy people pay attention and strive to learn from things that have happened in the past, they're careful not to spend too much time ruminating on it. Happy people know that the present is much more valuable than the past, and they focus most of their attention on the now. 5. Happy people don't obsess over what might happen in the future. It's essential to plan for the future, but it's detrimental to obsess and worry over what might happen. Happy people know that there are many things they cannot control, and the future is one of them. Rather than worrying about what could go wrong, happy people strive to prepare as best they can and direct their attention back to the present moment. 6. Happy people don't strive to achieve absolute perfection. Perfectionism is the enemy of happiness, and happy people are well aware of this. Though they strive to do their best and aim high with their goals, they aren't caught up in having perfect lives or being the perfect spouse, worker, or parent. They don't compare their real lives to those highlight reel images on Instagram and Facebook. Sometimes good enough is good enough. 7. Happy people don't forget to be thankful for what they have. One of the quickest ways to access lasting happiness is to cultivate an attitude of gratitude. Happy people spend more time thinking about what they're lucky to have, and spend very little time wishing for things they don't have. They look for and find the silver lining in a bad situation and can remind themselves of just how fortunate they are. 8. Happy people don't value material possessions over experiences. Scientific research has shown that people who use their money to buy experiences such as travel, sporting activities, and outings to the theater enjoy a greater, more prolonged sense of happiness than those who spend money on objects. The happiest people seem to have figured this out. They value activities such as spending time with friends and family, traveling to new places and stepping outside their comfort zones. 9. Happy people don't seek fulfillment in the wrong places. For happy people, fulfillment doesn't come from the size of their bank accounts, the number of likes on social media, or the type of car they drive. Happy people see fulfillment in meaningful things like connections with others, spirituality and meaning, and rewarding career paths. They know that status symbols are not as valuable in the long run as a sense of belonging and giving back to the community and the world at large. 10. Happy people don't stay in negative situations for long. Perhaps most importantly, happy people don't stay in negative situations or tolerate negative people in their lives. Happy people find a way to leave situations, careers, and relationships that cause excessive amounts of stress. They avoid spending time with people who dwell on the negative. And under no circumstances do they tolerate emotional or physical abuse. While some people have, by default, happier temperaments than others, happiness requires dedication and hard work. If you're looking for more happiness in your life, don't just think about the practices such as meditation, exercise, and good sleep habits, but also consider this list of don'ts so that you won't get stuck in a negativity trap. If you liked the video, do subscribe, like, and comment. Do hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification. Thank you for watching.